shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all.
Hey, what's up guys? You're watching Wayfinder. My name is Rocky. So, carrying off what I said in the video 2 days ago, everything has its time, everything has its season. But this does not only pertain to you. You have your season, you have your time to shine in this world. But even the things that you don't like have their time to shine, they have their season. And now here in Portugal it's kind of entering into the winter season, things are getting cold, people prefer to shut their windows and everything, so the humidity in the inside of the house is quite high. And what happened was yesterday, I didn't make a video, I was supposed to make a video yesterday, but then I woke up with, it seemed extra stuffy. I looked around the room and I saw like mold growing, like little bits and pieces of mold. So I decided, okay, I'm not gonna record a video that day, I'm gonna take care of the mold and kill it at the roots. Everything in this world has a season, even the things you don't like, my friends. Mold is just an example of one thing in the world, in life, that is annoying, nobody wants to have around, but we have to take care of it when the time comes. Sometimes you're so busy with your life, your focus is on something that your peripheral vision is not aware of things or shit that's happening around you. The world could be burning, the world could be ending, and yet because you're so focused on your hustle or your grind or whatever you want to focus on, you totally are oblivious to everything that's happening. It's just like with the birth of Jesus Christ. How come only the three wise kings, the shepherd and the parents only knew about Jesus' birth and where he was born, where he was going to be born? Because only those people knew about the star of Bethlehem, and they knew to follow the star of Bethlehem. The rest of the people, God knows what they were doing. They were doing business, they were sleeping, they were hooking up with prostitutes. They didn't look up at the sky, they were not looking at the signs, because they were focused so much on their own daily lives, they forgot to read the signs, and that's something that you have to be conscious of. So mold happens to the best of us, happened today, and as you'll notice, my room looks kind of different. There's no curtain, because I had to take out the curtain, I had to make sure that I had to take down everything. Even if the curtain didn't have mold, I'm gonna wash that, put it outside to dry in the sun, disinfect, because you never know where this mold is. And the reason why I'm making a video about this is because it has an application to real life, You gotta take care of the issues. Even if they're small, you gotta take care of those issues, kill them at the root before it gets bigger. Because like mold, for example, I was wondering why these past few days, this past few days and the week before, I was always waking up kind of lethargic. The alarm clock rang, I kind of like wake up, turn off the alarm clock, and I'm like, but where's the energy? I didn't want to get up. I kind of had to sleep a bit, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes till I actually had the willingness to get out of bed. Being lethargic and being tired, these and fatigue, mental fatigue, these are actually symptoms of mold. When you breathe in mold, it's a health hazard, and that's something that I didn't want in my life. I had my nutrition on point, I had my sleep on point, I had my workouts on point, I was progressing throughout the weeks, and then all of a sudden last few days, I was wondering why am I like lacking the energy? Sometimes if you're in the same position, check around your house, check around your room, maybe there's mold there. The funny thing is, it's the things that you never think are the cause that are usually the cause. It's the things that are unseen, like the mold. They're unseen, especially in the beginning, because the seeds are there, the roots grow, but you never see the mold until the mold comes out, the mold comes to the surface, kind of like a plant. You never know the plant exists if it's a seed. How would you know where the seeds are, right? Unless you dig it up. When you see a mold, it's not like, okay, it's fine, I can let that be. No, you kill that shit, because once you see the mold, once you see the problem, usually the roots already run deep. Try to kill it at the source, otherwise it starts to spread. Thing is, I took care of the problem myself. I could have called the landlord yesterday. But time was of the essence, because if I call the landlord, when will he send the guys? He will send maybe the guys who will repair the place tomorrow, next week. There's no guarantee. It takes like 24 to 48 hours for mold to start growing and start spreading within prime conditions, and I'm not gonna do that. I don't accept that, because the bigger the problem, the more mold, the bigger the problem in your life, in whatever aspect in your life, the more costly in time and money. Because small mold is fine, you can clean it, finish, kill it with a mold or fungal cleanser. But then if the mold starts spreading to like your carpet and it gets into the base of the carpet, you gotta throw that shit away. So you waste your carpet, you lost money, and more mold happens. That when your place starts getting infested with a lot of mold, you yourself cannot clean it yourself anymore. You gotta call a professional to do it. Therefore, it costs even more money. So why didn't you take the time when it was early to kill the thing at the root, right? Take care of your problems when they're still small. I could have called the landlord, but I did not. I took care of this shit myself. So sometimes you gotta know how to take care of shit yourself. It saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money, saves a lot of effort. Not on their part, but saves a lot of effort in the long run. This is what you call true independence. Being able to repair, being able to maintain, being able to clean, being able to spot problems. That's true independence. It's the same thing goes with self-defense and home security. When someone wants to fight you or when a robber breaks into the house. If you depend on the police, it may be too late. You gotta take care of that shit yourself, right? It's the same with entrepreneurship. You gotta do everything in the beginning to keep your costs low. And as an entrepreneur, maybe your title is entrepreneur, but then on the inside of your mind, the identity that you actually take on is a firefighter. You fight fires in your own business every single day, fight little problems every single day. Personally, in my story, I became a supervisor at a very young age. I became supervisor at 21 years old, and I was supervising people who were twice my age or who had children who were older than me. I became a supervisor because I was different from the rest. You gotta stand out from the rest, and the way that I stood out was that unlike the other people, unlike most people, they present problems. They point to problems, they complain. Only the few point to the problem but already have the solution to present to the manager. They already have the solution in mind. And the solution will never come from books. The solution comes from experience. Because in books, in school, they only teach you knowledge, but they do not teach you the context with which to apply that knowledge. Because there's so many contexts that can happen in the world. They tell you, oh, you go this way, so you go that way. But what happens if you go that way? There's a snake on the road. Did the book tell you what to do with the snake? Probably not. It really takes experience. That's why you gotta get out there. And I read up an article that said that there's a growing number of young people, like young adults, that are choosing not to stay on their own, but choosing to stay in the mama's house. And because of this, they have more disposable income to spend on luxury goods. So funnily enough, given the current economy that's kind of crashing, the luxury segment, the luxury sector in terms of luxury bags, luxury goods, luxury shoes, they're actually earning more money from these young people because the young people have more disposable income instead of spending on the rent, spending on the utilities, spending on their food. They can save that money because they stay in the mama's house, and then they have so much money, disposable income, they choose to spend it on luxury goods. Stupid. I understand it's good, makes sense, it's a smart move on one aspect because you save money. But if you save money and you never invest, you spend it on useless shit. That if mold comes and they don't know how to spot the mold, those luxury bags, if they're made with nice leather, 100% leather, mold's gonna eat that shit up and they have to end up throwing it away. Stupid. As I said, it's a smart move in one aspect because you save a lot of money. It's kind of like my brother. My brother stays in my mama's house. He saves so much money, probably has more money than I do, saved up. He's good at that. He's a thrifty person. But he also complains to me every now and then that my parents don't let him do the chores, my parents don't let him cook. He knows how to cook because he lived alone in Japan, he lived alone in other places, and he knows how to cook, but then my parents don't let him cook. When there's a problem in the house, my parents deal with it. When there is a leak in the roof, my dad takes care of it. My brother, staying in the parents' house, will lack the real life experience of how to deal with shit, of how to take care of shit that happens in your life. And if a person is so sheltered, if you're so sheltered, if the other dude is so sheltered, it's kind of like you're staying in the nest. The bird stays in the nest. And how are you gonna grow your wings if you stay in the nest? Your parents cannot flap your wings for you, right? So that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully my experience here gave you some valuable insight, and probably you're gonna start checking your room for mold and start checking your life for moldy things. Things that you have to kill at the root. Things that you may not know that they're a problem because you don't know about the science. You don't know how to read the science until it's too late. Until it's too late. As I said in one of my videos from a long time ago, if you're not moving forwards on a daily basis, if you're not progressing, you're actually moving backwards. Because in this case, I didn't touch my room. I didn't kind of clean my room in a long time. That's my fault. Because I was so busy doing other things in my life and also YouTube, working out and all that, that I failed to keep my room, I failed to look at my room, inspect my room. And look what happened. I didn't move forward in this aspect. Now I'm moving backward because there was mold. Now I had to spend my time because there was mold. Now I had to have one less video on YouTube because there was mold. That was my fault. Don't repeat my mistake, guys.